There we go.
I don't know why I'm young.
Somebody has in the love for way. Papa TJ Mukeni me what to me. Love mwelu mama. Ato atilo ma ye. Wato mango tipe mamu ye. Ato atilo ma ye. We are oh. Ato atilo ma ye. Wato mango tipe mamu ye. Ato atilo ma ye. We are oh. Sauna timungo we. Kwe brawa tifwa ke timungo gai. Sauna timungo we. Kwe brawa tifwa ke timungo gai. Bati koma ke agreement ilo mulwa. Mwateni. Bati koma ke agreement ilo mulwa ye. Tonya bidi bidi ke inyamunga. Ndewe amugbe pati ndejima we Jiva trouble bra Mwambia mwa fila we Jiva kunde bra Mwambia mwa lewe apini Mwa uli dogo Amungili amwe
Tonya mya ke bidi mya Melo waji mahati sana mya manga woma Election time got to go to woman. Like a madman about this shit in my little tinga. They are really good in your way. Yeah, young boy. Young boy. Damn, you're thinking in my wallow. Hey, that when I'm going up on the young. Yeah, badi, me. Tonya, badi, me. Come on, DJ, Nyamunga.
Ato atilo ma ye. Wato mango tipe mamu ye. Ato atilo ma ye. We are oh. Ato atilo ma ye. Wato mango tipe mamu ye. Ato atilo ma ye. We are oh. Sauna timungo we. Kwe brawa tifwa ke timungo gai. Sauna timungo we. Kwe brawa tifwa ke timungo gai. Bati koma ke agreement ilo mulwa. Mwateni. Bati koma ke agreement ilo mulwa ye. Tonya bidi ke inyamunga. Ndewe amugbe pati ndejima we. Jiva trouble bra Mwambia mwa fila we Jiva kunde bra Mwambia mwa lewe apini Mwa uli dogo Amungili Amuyege nyali unkeda kwe Amendelwe mbatelo Sawa kamoti milwe mbatela Kabale junior SBPN Ubide enjoy Kabale junior SBPN Tokwe otia o amuye Bele Molele adopi Tiata lele amaledi Yenya inji Ye ilole tiatima Bukekene matela itijo Bidi Ato atiloma ye Wato mango tipe mamu ye Ato atiloma ye We are oh Ato atiloma ye Wato mango tipe mamu ye Ato atiloma ye We are oh Sauna timungo we Kwe brawa tifwa ke timungo gai Sauna timungo we Kwe brawa tifwa ke timungo gai Bati koma ke agreement ilo mulwa. Mwateni. Bati koma ke agreement ilo mulwa ye. Tonya bidi ke inyamunga. Ndewe Amugbe party in the Jimawe. Jiva trouble bra. Mwambia mwa fila we. Jiva kunde bra. Mwambia mwa lewe api. Mwa uli dogon. Amungili amwe.
And feel not to see them, man. God, they we live like a brothers and sisters. Love and support, we don't show them. All can rally, we don't dance, but God, we they meet up now one big ball. Shake body bala together. We be fit say wake up, down butter, we pray the oil for the show. Now we face lights not there. How the picking them for study now. Mama not the work, Papa not get money. One go school, but the system and sorry. Free education, the left and a story. 66 you now pairing. A woman for live this life with me no gets money. You not gonna know say we dey suffer. Cause stop up if you know they buy.
Mwali, bima ake umbate panda. Debi nyaima ale mao. Mwali, bima ake umbate panda. Bilega tale mafo. Mwali, bima ake umbate panda. Debi nyaima ale mao. Mwali, bima ake umbate panda. Bilega tale mafo. Mwali, bima ake umbate panda. Mwali, bima ke umbate panda.
Delay and see dangerous.
Sauna timungo we. Kwe brawa tifwa ke timungo gai. Bati koma ke agreement ilo mulwa mwateni. Bati koma ke agreement ilo mulwa ye. Tonya bidi ke inyamunga.
Okay, fumble them. On a good evening, on a good morning, on a good afternoon from wherever on a day. This now the Sierra Leone Diaspora Unity Campaign Network where they start we broadcast today. Of course, we've been supposed for be 3 online, but one of we brother we not able get them for come join we. Maybe go can join we later. With me here, I get another brother when here Tabs Tababa. My brother, you go greet the fumble them. Let we start the program, yeah?
Good evening, my family in Sierra Leone, and good evening, my family in any part where you find yourself in the world with the time zone. My name is Tababa. I love Sierra Leone, and I believe say when I all love Sierra Leone. So this Diaspora Unity program, now for we Sierra Leone, for create awareness, for law know rights, civic responsibility about governance, and any other things where they are now surrounding. Sierra Leone belongs to we, and we're not going to allow just few people for destroy that country for we. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Today we start with program with one topic where I know say at this time is very important to every Sierra Leonean. The one they waiting at the country, the one they were out of the country, because sometime soon next year in the next maybe 12 to 13 months or even up to 15 months, we they expect say we go get another general elections in Sierra Leone. Today, we 3, they can discuss this issue because we they expect say we brother Gombi to Nyanya go can join we later. But before we they go to the topic, as my brother be briefly say about the Sierra Leone Diaspora Unity Campaign, I want to take small time, if not 2 or 3 minutes, let talk to the fumble them within Sierra Leone Diaspora Unity Campaign they all about. And I will give me brother self time, himself about 2 or 3 minutes, let himself put more on this thing. Let we within the diaspora and with people in Sierra Leone self understand exactly what in the motive of this new movement we don't form. It's a movement, not a political party, even though we discuss politics, but we get issues them beyond politics we'll get for look at. 60 years plus, a country with so much resources, not able to develop. From independence in 1961, we don't see things they go beyond. not so before they go. So now this now one of the reasons we make some of we were they out now the diaspora say, bo, we don't can live in other man country them. We don't see how then they do things. We don't see the reason you make them they go before. Then we don't see back some of our brother that who don't live in the diaspora, we don't go Sierra Leone, then go do things then they're not able to help the country go before. What are the reason? So now for this reason, make we say, let we come together and begin think together. Let we go know what thing for do and how for do them as a collective. Because another problem we don't see now we country of late, we country don't become highly polarized. Now instead of we they talk like brother and sister, this go call himself Mende, then they call himself Timini, then they call himself Kono, then they call himself Soso. Then we they add this na green, then they na red, this na pink, this na mauve. We add back, oh, this na APC, this na SLPP, Uda na SLPP, na they na citizen. Una allow left this. Now for that make we say, let we come together. We all then at the diaspora. We don't can land small. What in unity and trust mean? And for that make we say, let we come together. Let we begin to see how we go help we country for go before. My brother, I want let you self kind side, let you put more small on this.
Thank you very much for your analysis. What you don't do to us. The problem with people that they go through, and you know, an experienced person. Probably the time when you begin to teach self and the time when you begin to serve that country, 1979. Some of who might be around 2 or 3 years old. So the service to Sierra Leone is I believe Sierra Leone is a country where responsible and country where they work hard for great responsibility for its citizens and for making a good leadership. The first when they try to identify. Now people they don't give service to the nation. I have to appreciate them, I applaud them. But that is not happening in Sierra Leone. So that don't create so much vacuum. Everybody just believes, say, I'm not being recognized. Nobody not like me. You are a leading example.
Me, I don't let them like me, sir. Me, I will charge for talk.
If somebody that don't serve, not to you want to kind them working at the society, guess what's in the happen here? May you don't live in the West, you know, it's not recognition of people of service.
Yeah.
When you don't recognize people, the young one, the way they come out, you motivate them for let them do more.
Exactly.
But if people are not recognized in society, we choose for paint the society to passionate gain and passionate way of direction, tribalism, nepotism, regional device. Then we same one way in the diaspora here, where they contribute immensely, past even donor funds the way they go to Sierra Leone. If you take the money, say, oh, all is in Sierra Leone. I'm an accountant, economist. And they tell you, say, diasporas and they contribute to Sierra Leone economy, past even Britain, America, any country they send money. Based on the money they tax they pay annually. But the government not even recognize you for that. And we as a diaspora themselves will not recognize yourself because one, we choose for also they get good governance, but we forget about the good governance that they get. We choose to go by tribal regional lines. Which the same thing where they affect you today when you party in a power, when you party command a power, it can affect you tomorrow because system not
Yeah.
And you then are a country where they enjoy facilities then what system did. When I come at this country, I don't sabi nobody. I don't go meet councillor, I don't go meet senator for like a job, but I'm working.
Yeah.
We don't have that kind of system in our country. We brothers and sisters they were highly qualified. They don't lost their job until they based on their last name.
We're foolish. I'm sorry for cutting you off, sir. We're foolish because when you look Sierra Leone, the last name they're all not the same across ethnic lines. This is one thing some of we don't know. You get Kamara, Koroma, Sise, Konte, Bangura across ethnic lines. You get Tarawali, you get Fufana. I think the people that way the name specific na Sierra Leone. Now them few, now like una then kono them. Una get specific surname where you know they fend across ethnic lines. But then name the way get Malinke origin. It is across ethnic lines. Then the other thing is, across the country, every district get a place where they call Sumbuya. And they challenge anybody for go prove that wrong. Not an accident. Go ahead, sir.
So I think we know the land as a country, and we get senseless brutal war. We kill over 500,000 Sierra Leoneans. Then, but I can tell you, say Sierra Leoneans, including the diaspora and who in the home, directly affect and not see no changes based on what they happen on political device. Sierra Leoneans, we like we say, we major problem we'll get. Now, just 1% of the politicians don't choose for life and Sierra Leoneans. Where the Sierra Leoneans save not the benefit, but they choose for accepting whatever thing them people in the telling a gospel true because they came from the same tribe. Then they use them. So we as a diaspora unity campaign, what we will come up with here now for unify Sierra Leone. For let we tell like Ghana, when you go to Ghana, they tell you welcome to Ghana. They know they tell you say, what's your tribe?
Nah, they say Akwaba.
Yeah.
Akwaba,
So,
welcome. Even pan aircraft, now that's the day. Ghana
why would not
Airways.
try for welcome Musef say welcome to Sierra Leone and stop for asking questions? My brother, we all as Sierra Leoneans has been a foreigner to each district. The first day when me hear somebody they meet up, he say, hi, kusha everybody. He say, who's stripe come on. Straight away, we want to identify if you are an enemy or not an enemy. So now existing things and the where the diaspora unity campaign they fight against. Let us see ourselves as one. And if we don't see ourselves as one, we will not say government now we get them. The people that are holding at the position, they are just there for run the administrative, but they are not the owner of the government. I'll stop here so far.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think you don't come to the point where we'll go start this issue about elections. Government. What is government? Well, when they go school and they teach you that, not so.
Mm-hmm.
But
They say
Boko
the
we
government
don't
of the people.
understand. Boko we don't understand what in government mean. We feel
A
say
government
government na
of the people and by the
Neskogoma or Madabio or Kande Yomkela. No. Government na an institution where they represent the people them, the
people.
interest. You not they go into government for go work against the people their interest. You they go there for go serve the people their interest. What in that mean? You now you host with your family, with you and your wife, now una they govern the host, not so.
Yeah.
Una they govern the host because una they work in the interest of the family, the picking them. Everything una they do and for make things go before. If una not able meet up, then the locking come in and say una go apart.
Yeah.
Not so?
Mm-hmm.
That the same thing we they do in a country. Because we plenty in the country, not so everybody go they take decision every day. Now I make would they come together and say, Lord, get some people them, would they go sit down there for they decide for we. Then say, Lord, get the one that would they make law. Lord, get the one that way they judge case. Lord, get the one them we if we want water, we want this, we want that, now then they provide them. What in our we own duty as citizens, therefore make sure say we elect the one that will go represent we. Then we will elect them, we get for do other things them, like for pay tax. If they're not they do thing correct, now we duty back for say this is what una they do, so it's not correct because now we una they represent. Una not go there for go represent una self. And The big problem we get, especially in countries them also get 2-3 different set of people them we're not they able see together because them think say because me they talk that language, then they talk that language you different. Is that when it comes an election of who that for go represent we, it's like a mini war. Everybody they look say now more interest for the above. We don't see this happen not only in Sierra Leone, it happen all over Africa. Usa they so that problem they not there. Maybe because the people they all they talk the same language. But they are not the same people, then different. You're not gonna know until you live with them, you know, say them different. Then they by area. Now I make even the national clothes the way then they wear, then get the other and they design them. You they understand say this common at this part, this common at this part. The one they all common at the east, then you design there. The one they all common at the north, then design there. The one they all common at the west, then design there. But when it comes on elections, they not they go into the hassle where we get in Africa. They not they go into the hassle where we get or we'll create for ourselves in a salon. Now, we don't dip on this independence or whatever we call freedom or how we call them from 1961. We don't go to, we go pan war. And for a lot of people, when you ask them, what bring the war? Hey, people were dissatisfied. Yes, people them been dissatisfied. People are not be happy with the way things they go. But if we don't come up on war, we don't come since 2002, we don't get 4 elections. We see say the first 3 elections then go smoothly. We're not going to say all been free and fair, but they were smooth. But since that election 2018, we don't see a lot of problems they develop in the society. And what it make them worse, we don't see say we country don't divide greatly. Now people and they talk openly about tribalism. People and they talk openly about party hate and then kind of thing. Then they tell oh be small oh they go school. They not sabi all that day. I've been lucky. I grew up in a family where my parents then they work for the government and they transfer them. Now hospital they work. They transfer them from one tongue to another. I know the whole of Sierra Leone through that. Because I mean they go holiday to my parents them. I make a lot of friends. Even at Tongo Field, I make friends then they. Then one and they are they are consider them as brothers. So for some of we, what in they go on a salon so, we they see and say, it's not right, it's not correct. We not grow up with that. And with what all we don't see, this election what they cancel, we get a lot of questions for answer before we go on this election. Because for make people and go trust this election, with what we they see they go on, we get things that will people that don't begin they raise. My brother, while we discuss some of them things here from we own layman point of view, then questions here where people then generally they raise questions about, doubts about, I'm sorry. Then questions here we don't make even the institutions that we for conduct election as salon, the integrity and the ability for make people then trust them, it don't look minimal. It don't diminish. If them people them, whether not the institution as then they so, if not then they go conduct elections for we. then we for expect anything for happen na salon. Because definitely people do not trust them. Number one question. Now on the appointments them where the president be make to NEC commissioners them and other management members them. The constitution of Sierra Leone is clear that before the president they make their appointments there, if I call all the registered political parties them, then sit down, then discuss. That means the leaders, maybe the secretary general and the chairman of each party, then sit down, then discuss, then agree. They examine the candidate. The constitution not say the president for inform by way of letter or telephone call. He say consult. Now we don't see a lot of appointments don't happen. Changes don't take place now the elections commission. Appointments don't come on at the political parties registration body. We get a lot of doubts about the integrity of the next election. I want to let you put much small pan this, my brother. From a layman point of view, how you see this?
In the first place, I tell you thank you very much for what that you don't highlight. You see, Sierra Leone, we politicians them, and we say self as a Sierra Leoneans, and are we responsible for the predicament they go through. When some of we been start, like me and my own political party, the SLPP then government, the SLPP government, Abbas Bondo even can right now. You see the stumble there. So much within surface because we say the guy who been saying at parliament when I am asking Lamina or no want us to caucus leader. In the first place, when the appointment of a NEC commissioner when Kane come into play, some of we as a party members they will do research. We come up with say Kane was a registered party carrier of SLPP and he was paying due at SLPP. So because of that, as a party member, and NEC, the constitution of Sierra Leone say anybody when they appoint at that position as a NEC member not for belongs to any political party. For the fact the guy belongs to a political party, that don't disqualify him. One. Number two, the constitution say for you for like qualify for be a commissioner of NEC, you has to be qualified as a member of parliament to be voted and voted for. The
So
gentleman
they talk
here,
about it to see me issue now, eh?
the gentleman who they talk here, he's a diaspora citizen. I know we'll call the country, I know for going to impassion life. One, now double citizens. Number two, he not be even left in job. The guy left in job 3 days to a week for like get disappointment, which if I don't left in job a year as a civil servant when they take money a consolidated form. So these are fraud. If President Mada just say a one unity in Australia, you want for unified salon, it take 10 members of parliament and a SLPP, a APC, he pull it out of parliament and say them take consolidated form. They impose people they not conduct election, which if APC not being calm and show maturity, that country for don't be in chaos. Because when you talk about 10 members of parliament, then each constituency get 40,000 residents. If you multiply 40,000 people by 10, you do the math.
400,000.
For instance, the old people that were going to bush where Sierra Leone, they not reach that number. Where the president don't disfranchise, where they can punish. When it comes to constituency 110, because of SLPP not so they can the second, what they do, then go conduct by election day. Why they not be just say, okay, NGC go take that seat? They didn't do it.
Yeah.
So the problem of Sierra Leone, let me tell you one thing. People don't want to be honest and say that true. We problem at Sierra Leone, the biggest fraudster in Salone, President Julius Maada Bio, he's a fraud in that country. Now he can fraud the country. And it don't only institutions and so runs on that, everybody don't become a coward. And Sierra Leone will major problem. And that's sycophancy. Nobody cannot stand in the face of the president and tell him true. Some of we did. For the fact today alive, I don't care. If Maada Bio want to give me job, then I'm in business. If you want to give me relative then job, then I'm in business because I have the talk now in business. But as far as Sierra Leone is concerned, if we enjoy other places until like Kusai made in the United States, I believe say every Sierra Leonean for able to enjoy that same facility for Ghana country. So the president is a scam. These things have been deliberately. Even Canada police is coming for appointing Inspector General of Police. As I talk to you, Sofula is over 69 years going to 70.
Yeah.
The police constitution say 60 years he should be retired. Why do we need a 69-year-old Inspector General of Police who is still there? Why do we need him? He's a scam. Why the president need to go appoint a commissioner? The lady will not appoint a Western area. We been get case now anti-corruption not even preside on the matter. She was a fraud, criminal, fraudster. Then don't let today. Then people for managing the aim of affair. If that person in their mind, when a liquid cash is still Sierra money, it's for money when a liquid cash. For still ballot paper nines, to him. So my brother, I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
Well, you don't highlight, you don't calm
so the
down
responsibility
hard.
here, what I want to make with you, we can still stop that. We can still stop that. Me and you don't do the diaspora, we don't do aside and we don't know say how elections are managed and how elections are conducted. When I say somebody want to thief you, now we not get proper security in place, now I make the person they can rob you. So the primary responsibility are like we concern Sierra Leoneans. We are the Diaspora Unity Campaign, don't join hand with COP. The 13 political parties in Sierra Leone. I think this is not about political party. It is not about SLPP. It is not about APC. It's not about NGC. This is for us to redeem Sierra Leone. We country down there in the bleeding spot for the over how many years since 1961. This is 61 years Sierra Leone is not moving forward. We are not, nothing is happening. So let us manage, let we be we own election watch. We can get teach man the way they come, but let we be we own election watch. Diaspora Unity Campaign, if it costs we all for go Sierra Leone and mandate them, box them, watch them, ask international partners and say, we need the sensitive cameras them now all police stations. We need device them where they detect any magistrate place we have. Those things can be proved. It happen here. Why we cannot have it? A one day minister consider $84 million put in pocket. $10 million, $5 million don't do for like all them cameras, then stations, and they
That's
get
too
CCTV
much.
camera
That's too much, my friend. It's too much.
on because when you get armed robbers, I'm telling you, when you get criminals to the governance, you got to protect the votes. We have to. If not, that latter you want to really happen, which make me I'm afraid. The police in Sierra Leone, they don't conspire with the government for brutalize Sierra Leoneans. NEC is no longer honest with the people of Sierra Leone. Then they change the results how they want for change. Apple between a corner. Then still the result where the independent candidate win. The president say, I can't take the result. He made it. He took him. So if we the people of Sierra Leone now will not come together as a Sierra Leonean for man that election, oversee that election. My brother, I'm telling you, this election will matter beauty conduct. I'm not wishing for that, but it might take us back to the 1991 Civil War. Mada is ready for steal the election, and people are not ready to accept the stealing. So I'm afraid. If he asks you, I think we need to ask for more help, for make we get free and fair election coming 2023.
Okay, you don't go further than waiting I've been the one level we discuss at this level. But it don't matter. What no more me go say is you don't make certain salient points them where we need for deliberate on, because if a country like Sierra Leone with all the resources we get, a country will get a geolocation advantage where plenty other countries not get. A country will get a young population where about 55% of the people them, they within age 40 and below. If poverty they increase there every day, it point to something. Yes, we have had politicians that we can consider as frauds or fraudsters. But I'll tell you for free, my brother, some of them things they happen as Salome because certain set of people want them things they for happen. The politicians are part of that set of people. But there are people who are not directly in politics where then safe. Now then they allow that system for go on. I go give you an example. Just about 2 weeks ago, a minister in the government in Norway then discovered say 2 years back she claimed some benefits for a house. You know, then get facilities where then they give them, say, if you they go travel or, you know, say, you they go na so constituency, you can claim allowance for rent of house or things like that. A similar scandal be don't come now the British government some years back about the MP they will be they claim say then they pay rent for houses where they not they pay. That thing they happened recently about 2 weeks ago. When that thing reached Parliament, the same day the minister came out on television, he apologized to the nation, then he resigned. The last prime minister before this one now, when a woman, he be they celebrating birthday during the COVID. The law been said certain number of people now they for allow for go for gathering. They been put her up to I think 20. But she had one other person come to the party where I think now be a relative we just boss pan them. That thing came out. She came to the television, head of state. She came to the television and apologized to the nation. And she was fined $2,500 for breaking the law. She paid that money. In Africa, in Sierra Leone, that not happen. Not because the politicians are the normal are the criminal. This is one thing we have to begin to say today. And I will say it, I don't care. I am not looking for new friends at age 67. The intellectual class of Africa, we will go school and university, now they keep that continent backward. Now they connive. But most times, now the leader, now they take
Well,
the
I disagree. I agree with some of what I disagree.
Most of we, not to all, most of we, they connive. Go ahead, sir. You don't call. Sorry, we don't lost we brother. I go come on back. I think they get problem with in connectivity. He go come on back just now. Meanwhile, now they listen to we. Okay, it don't come on. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hello, you get.
Yeah, go on, sir. Go on. We lost you briefly. Turn your phone. Turn them the other way. That's it.
What you make I tell you say I disagree with certain of them things and they we primary responsibility for elected government and for enforce the law.
Yes.
Now because of we law in them countries and I make not that the white society we sort of find we say for the America, Norway, the West, they're no one for break the law.
Then they break them. Corruption there.
Fine. But the law is there to punish the lawbreakers.
You know why?
In our society.
You know why? You know the difference between them societies and we own societies them? But because them societies here, the majority of the intellectual class have little or nothing to do with politics. Like you talk at the beginning, say you go America, you not sabi nobody, but you get a job, not to so?
Of course.
You not go label to a politician, not to so?
I not even sabi the post when.
Well. Not to God mark am for you, not to so? Now you merit give no so?
Yeah.
But in Africa, we the intellectuals, instead of owning up to our ethical and moral responsibilities, we dey create barriers for make people and can ask we for favor. We
Well,
dey
if law-
continue for keep that mentality say that one we sit up here and na God mark and day. He is there to serve humanity, not to forgo misuse humanity. The intellectual class in Africa, they misuse humanity. They are not doing what should be done.
All right. Me taking here is this. The government in responsibility now for able for reinforced law for every citizen as well.
But it gets intellectuals the way they think that way why they talk so, my brother.
Those has to be punished by the law enforced people. Now, based on that, we will get what we know for fix this. I mean, what me on taking here. If you get a family, as you start to say, you count your family. If the mama and the papa they're not disciplined at the house, how you think them picking and we able know the moral value about life?
Well, it depends on the culture. In this part of me, you begin the discipline you. They tell you what you get for tell you, not get nothing you they do.
So, we responsibility in that country now we know they carry as a citizens. But because I'm here, you get for form governments. The one that will be in there within a governance of today, they mean they yesterday asked me and you today then a governance. What did they condemn in the previous government? Now to them here, not a right. But on the other, when them in the opposition, it was wrong. So
yes, we come back to the same thing. What do you make we come back to the same thing? There are those who are educated who had left their jobs to go and join them to play sycophant. I know what call name. But I know people them will get better jobs than being ministers. We left their job go be minister.
What we need for do now as a diaspora unity campaign? Now for make we find a way how we will sensitize and educate with Sierra sons and say most of the things that we the government they tell them is a fraud, it's not true. And then people that they minus government officers, all corrupt officers they will office within them positions, they be civil servants. It be business enterprises, so it be foreigners that we don't know where established still. Then because they all contribute for corrupt the society when the society is not.
Now you started talking, my brother.
So those people has to be going after. Let the society be a camera and a watchdog for every Sierra Leoneans as they are doing here. Let we watch who said. In this part of the world, now the citizens and then they report to the law enforcement people.
You get watchdogs. You get watchdog institutions then.
So I think we never come up and try to make the awareness for let's and not say what is going on for now we country. It's not good.
It's not good.
Not only for you within a government, but for anybody in a Sierra Leone, because you self can come on that government positions. They like today, all an Escoma in cabinet, they're not in a governance.
No.
So if they make any bad decision yesterday for Sierra Leone, it's going to affect all of them. Like all
exactly
together. If Mara be they can do any bad things the way they can do, it can affect them back when they left office.
I make one left office now they crook the election. The guy don't rig the election.
Talk about election. The guy even come with one strategy now that make a talk say we get for work together as a team for stopping. Now he say they conduct presidential election before parliamentary and
that's unconstitutional.
Yes. Then you see Sierra Leone
that's unconstitutional. It cannot do
you see Sierra Leone as the way they can defend and say, oh, the president get right for call just president.
You're not getting no right. You're not getting no right for go against the laws of the land.
Call the presidential election because single-handedly, then we will get way for rig the presidential election. Then when the parliamentary election they come now, then create fear in the country. That is what he's doing.
He is not going to do it. Take it from me. He's not going to do it. Now we all Papa die left Salongi. We not to one man.
You see, they see people in the country, they make odious and citizens and ministers then, they defend the government in wrongdoing. They say correct.
You see, I want to come back to this election issue we've been talk about citizen watch, the monitoring of the elections, etc. We in the diaspora, as you rightly put them, we get a role for play. We get several roles we can play. And the most efficient one now for use technology. This is where we have to come together and contribute to pay for the infrastructure. The world where they now, if I want to see inside your bedroom, I dey see am from Norway. Okay? I dey see am. Tools then they, programs then they, what they pay for, I they do that. But I will not do it because one, any trained IT person, then they teach you high ethical standards. If you go against them, you they suffer heavy. Things like hacking, you know the jail term for them. Because the first thing we every IT law they do now for protect the privacy of the person. But where it concerns the safety and integrity of a process, you are allowed to do those things and get information. And of course, if we want to monitor that elections, we don't need to hack anybody. We only need to get a paid system like Elon Musk, that satellite internet system. We get them. A day on the ground, we beam all the satellites to Sierra Leone. We get people in every election stations with monitoring devices. They beam and direct live globally. Every station will be seen. Every action will be seen. So let's see how then they rig election pan that. And I'll tell you what, that is not going to cost above $250,000 for a day. For just that day. Okay? So if we are ready, we can monitor the elections and nobody will rig it. This is the 21st century. It's not the dark ages. Why we need maybe forget Elon Musk in satellite system now, because probably on that day they will tamper with the internet to confuse people as part of the process for rig the election. But what I want we know is, if we don't want that election to be rigged, it cannot be rigged. There is the technology to stop it.
Well, I think what we need for do, we need for create an awareness and try.
That's the awareness I am starting to create now. Let members of the diaspora come together. We
can raise that money. We can make
money for make we employ the people, not to me get for Duam. In fact, that job they not to one person job, now institution job. Not to one person not able to do them. I may have the know-how in my head, but for fix this, it takes a lot of people, you understand? Just like when you say they build a generator, not to one person they build generating station. The supervisor, they will get the know-how, but other people for coming. If we have the money to do it, we can put in place the infrastructure before elections. We get mobile telephone apps where everybody can access. You get websites where everybody can access. You they see live voting they go on at every polling station. It's done now if you want it to happen. It's done. It's doable. You know, to DST man where they can wear and all they make website too. Which are they tell you so that you are no say we able to do them. If I want to do them on a minor scale, I able to do them. But certain ethics no they allow that. But when it comes to elections, we're concerned with national stability and security, we can do it. It's not against the law. Okay? We can do it. Anything for stabilize the country, for ensure security in the country can be done. The second point about the elections, we are therefore bring up. I don't hear rumors and grumble from other political parties then say the government they favor one set of political party we know they bank up against the one they already bank up. One thing we know is from the time of President Tijan Kaba, we don't enter into certain agreements, international agreements with the African Union and ECOWAS, where they guide we on democracy and governance. We not go into the legal side of the issues then because we not so competent lawyers. Me na itimi sabi. Although I do small law, administrative law. Okay? And another thing we know categorically as somebody will be done there at the trade union as Sierra Leone. I've been there at the trade union as vice president for the teachers union. I go Zimbabwe, I go do certain courses them on trade union laws, conventions, etc. Any convention where a country don't sign and ratify, that convention waiting for implement as part of the national laws. And the African Charter on Democracy and Good Governance of the African Union will be done sign and ratify them. The ECOWAS Protocol on Democracy and Good Governance will be done sign and ratify them. That I check before they come through. So that means the articles and whatever we depend then conventions they na part of we law na saloon. It has to be implemented. I believe say then they implement them in a way because I make some research, somebody tell me say, then they ask political parties them for submit annual statements of account. But the question is, have they gone to the first stage stated in those conventions that the government for give support to the political parties for make sure say they get the capacity for function as political parties and for able help for build democracy in the country? The government they provide money, subventions for them party. Now this is the question I want to ask you.
Well, the government or they provide money. In fact, in the constitution, they say the oppositions then are part of governance.
Yes,
the government
everywhere,
for including
everywhere.
But in Sierra Leone, typical Sierra Leone politics, they know they do it because they feel say now empower and they empower the opposition for fight them because like them believes the best way for they're not. But that is where we go, that is where we are getting it wrong. So that I don't sure say we politicians are very dishonest because to start with, if you are honest, why I don't need for let you know what they do? Why I want for let you be incapacitated? So you're not able to know exactly what they're not because I get discrepancy things that they do not correct.
Yeah.
And they tell you say no government other than Sierra Leone, both past and present governments will ever empower the opposition. Well, that's okay, I should say one and Escoma been doing for Madabio. Because in 2000, at the day time we been Ebola, personally, I not get facts. But it was rumor why I get him and it's been getting $250,000 or $250 million for take turn at the country for efforts synthesize Ebola.
I be hearing about that even from far away Norway.
Yeah, so that shows that is part of the governance.
Yeah,
inclusiveness, consultation. It in our constitution and even when a TRC come, He made their recommendations and they follow good governance. But when the government come, when the government is waiting, when they come in governance, what they do now for weaken the opposition, say for let the opposition get then situation things and they for help for run the institution. Don't just believe say when they talk about governance, that's the mistake we are doing in Sierra Leone. When you talk about governance, it's just the political party where they form a government. They don't know say government is inclusion of all political parties and stakeholders in the country.
Yeah.
And then they form governance.
Yeah. And if I can add, another thing they get wrong in Sierra Leone, you feel say democracy now where you get plenty political parties.
Yeah.
That's political pluralism. Democracy now a state of mind, now a way where people learn to think. And democracy, they go with certain things. Them. If I go with tolerance, if I go with trust, and if I go with openness. I not think say we get all the one and then our governance system na Sierra Leone. Because it tally with what you be they talk just not say when a government can have power, then they see say the opposition, if they do things for make the voting, then they empower them. That is wrong. You are stifling the development of democratic thinking in society.
But the point yourself is, Usa you know say, now I make it the final say when one political party then have power, they find it very difficult for like our development self able cross and across because one, me and you get for be friend for able champion because
Yes.
you win election, let's say by 1% or 2%.
Yes.
I lost election by 1% or 2% of the country population. You might got 51% of the people then vote, I get 49%. 49% of 7 million, we are talking about 3 million people were subject to me.
Yeah.
Above than we're subject to me.
Yeah.
How do you want these 3 million people
To trust you.
Trust you and accept the message if you not pass through the leadership?
Exactly.
And you know say you can be in governance today, tomorrow you are in opposition. Why you not go create a system where you will benefit where you're opposition?
Exactly.
So justice is a weakness and selfishness of the Sierra Leoneans. Then we just want to start the country backward. We come one day, what you care no more for that come, I enrich myself and my family. And most of them people, and they guess what? When they enrich themselves from the family, they see they can't face the same system because those money when they cannot even they take them nowhere. All they can live in that same situation, that same punishment all they go through is an reverse. So it's a punishment to you, the government today, and you, the government, will not really.
Now you said it all. They are not enriching themselves whilst they are in governance. They are only misusing funds and showing affluence. Now ego triple and deeper. We pull on a power after 6 months, they see him give a plastic of back the work and treat.
He is broke.
Because he is not structured mentally.
For the past 2 years, the world stage don't tell we say every country need for develop. When Ebola, Corona hits the world.
What in the be so now? What in the be so now Ukraine? Now Africa get for suffer most.
You see? Because
Africa, fuel price they can't go to a level where it will be unbearable for we in Africa.
We are not prepared for nothing.
Now Ukraine now the greatest producer of wheat in the world is being destroyed. Bread price they go up.
I had this discussion this morning with my wife now that I I say yesterday I been watch CNN when the President Joe Biden they try to negotiate with Venezuela, Iran, because they are sick into the world global stage. Then they lie on share it.
Yeah.
So now when they want to punish Putin, they say, oh, let's contact somebody. Africa need to prepare for those things, which we are not doing.
We are not, because we intellectuals are not prepared. That's what I'm saying.
In terms of consultation and everything in Africa, we are not considered because we don't get anything what they can offer at the table.
Are we producing anything?
We're not even put anything at the table as a card. We are just there to receive it. And anytime when you go receive, you know, for participating in decision making.
He who pays the piper calls the tune, my brother.
So I think we have a diamond. That is our card in Sierra Leone. We have other minerals. That is our card. Why can't we go and develop ourselves as a Sierra Leone and love ourselves? Just 7.5 or 7.6 million people. 7 million people are saying in Sierra Leone, including ministers and relatives and presidents and relatives. They sleep without 3 meals a day.
Well, our Leone is small. You know, to make our Leone is small, the country where they with Sierra Leone get almost the same population. 2005, Sierra Leone and Norway being the same population in figures. Right now, Sierra Leone is about 1.5 million above Norway. Norway, in terms of public wealth, sovereign fund wealth, now the richest country on earth. Norway get money past China. Then sovereign fund, now $1.3 trillion. China, then sovereign fund, now 1.1 trillion. Norway gets an advantage of a small population. China, with all their sovereign fund, and gets billions for take care of. Okay? Look at Sierra Leone, a small country. Now put minerals. Now left the minerals. Now look at with location. Outside Sierra Leone Day, you can fly to any major city in the Atlantic region, maximum 8 hours.
It's 10 hours. Maximum of 10 hours.
Okay.
From Sierra Leone to New York is 8 hours.
Yes. To London, maximum 8 hours.
Yes.
By air. To Rio de Janeiro in South America, I think it's about 8 hours some minutes. Sao Paulo is about 7 hours some minutes.
Getting direct flight
Havana, Cuba is about 7 hours. That's why in the 70s, when the Cubans they go Angola, now Salon, Lunge, now they be the refer.
Well, now I make bad governance. Government is continuity. Where President Nkrumah been called airport, na mama, some of who been buy the idea say it's very good because like then be one for develop that airport for law get international plane there where they land there for.
Let we be a transit port.
So if we don't get a transit spot, this is for about 400 and something to $500 million project. Then when the president come, they condemn and say no, that project don't ought it. But it go out a bridge which is about 2.something billion.
Oh, that they go put money there.
So what's significant? That makes the president say probably you don't know the economic value of a country.
Okay, let's just finish this point about relocation. You hear me, sir? Mm-hmm. Now we don't look at the air, the sea. The sea. You dey reach any major city in the Atlantic region within 16 days. Then it's only in Sierra Leone you have a deep natural harbor that is amongst the first 5 largest natural harbors on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
The Freetown port, if properly constructed, can start from Kisi Ferry Terminal, or let's say Kleintown, or if you want, you can extend on to Kisi Texaco by Shell, because all here in a deep water area, right down to King Tom, back of Prince of Wales School. Now I talk as a geographer. I'm a geographer, a trained geographer, trained and qualified. Okay? That extension there can take over 400 normal size sea-going vessels. One, we can build that as a stevedoring port for the receive containers from other parts of West Africa. We will create jobs. The port area of Freetown and in capacity with the population, we can able build Sierra Leone into an export processing country way bigger than Dubai. Who's how they go dance, go boy. I make in the beginning, I told you, the intellectual class is responsible for everything wrong in that class, in that country. What do me no more go school and university? What do me no more sabi some of them things here? People and they all sabi, and they keep them out. Like keep me mot, but let me pot boil. You pot not a boil. You they remain a dehumanized beggar throughout your life. You get for they go dehumanize yourself to somebody else until you even educate pass. Are we serious people? Go ahead, sir, with you talk with me, they talk this.
So, like, all you don't talk, some of we don't in a governance of that country, we don't help for strengthening things. And when you count ideas, those ideas can be, you could not say the ideas are brilliant. As I've been to tell you, the airport alone, if that airport for don't be established, that for don't make salon for don't open, even past Belgium, where they take today, 400 to 500 planes there a week. You know the kind of revenue with that for Belgium.
Exactly.
All in Belgium rely on aviation. And
supranational governance. House the international bodies then.
Yes.
That's what creates job for them.
Salon gets a vast land, all we will get at airports where Belgium gets, even triple one.
Yes.
We have
Why
it.
not? Why not?
This was a very decent project where some of you be admire with President Nkrumah be left. When President Bioka is saying no, it's not relevant. The only things why President Bioka that project is not relevant is the same tribalism we talk about regionally, just because the airport for now the northern region, the west part and northwest of Sierra Leone. That's all. They say and say it was wrong. Which a favor realize say, and they hope in the country where Sierra Leoneans then go they say they don't care about politics. When are they America here? How many people care say they go on Washington? Nobody cares. I have a friend I'm working with. I even tell him say there is a war going on between Ukraine and Russia. A white guy, you don't even know. He doesn't.
Can you imagine? The man in your world.
And the guy is the extra, he's just busy on his job because he's busy. He don't care. Now, because people are they're not engaged. Now, would they get armed robber them? We see them say they are bad people in the society.
But now we they create them.
What do you do for rehab them? What did the government do for rehab? Instead of the government,
we get young population. We not they give them skills for make them able to live with their respect. How we expect them to live?
So we have to think as a Sierra Leonean, and this responsibility here. I appreciate this program where we all on start, and in this we broadcast today, we first broadcast. Me they encourage a lot of diaspora Sierra Leoneans them say this is not about political party. We are not.
It's not about politics.
We are not here to chase Mada out of power. If Mada do the right thing, some of us will be there to support him.
If he wants me to support him, I will support him. But he has to listen to some of the advice I give.
If we all get a better Sierra Leone, some of we don't need for dinner. Most of who are the diasporas who are expatriates, we are picking their own American doctors. We get doctors then, we get accountants and professionals, IT specialists. We can go back home and build Sierra Leone to a better place for all of us.
In a decade, let me say this.
I go in the society where your life self not safe. I go in the society where you think that tomorrow morning the country will go in chaos. If the president can provoke tribalism, if the president can provoke regional divide, if the president can they in the front line talk say, I'm going to rig this election and rig it. If a government ministers, they go beat all ballot box is broken, which and take it to that OT surface. That shows say Sierra Leone is a jungle country. It is not safe for any civilized and intelligent person for go live in that kind of society. So we primary responsibility as a diaspora to don't start so. Now for law reach out to the least Sierra Leoneans, including the president and in government. They might be ignorant of the facts. They think they are doing the things that they are right, but they are not right, they don't know. And also we can tell people the worst possible way to deal with Mr. Jambora is somebody with ignorance where they wrong you, don't know say they wrong you. A bypass the way they do and deliberate because you don't even know say they wrong you.
Yeah.
So you're not able to change away from that. That is what is happening in Sierra Leone. People even don't know what they're doing is wrong. They just accept and say that the system, this is the direction it has to. That's what we get for good.
No. We create the system. Now we the creator.
And you have to accept it.
How we think that's how they become.
You don't be the bad person. Look how society don't turn out. We youth all people they blame youth man the way they cause mommy cause. I don't like people with a cause, but at the same time, when there is no justice, the people define themselves.
When people get angry, they insult. Right now,
So,
Ukraine, if you listen to the communications where they go on, you hear beaucoup insult. When people get angry, they insult.
People don't want to address the issue.
Because they then feel say that God puts them there, so they can use power. How they like.
Then they just kind in the surface say, oh, somebody can come every day. Okay, me not like with somebody, me not the abuse authority. I don't do that. But the authority themselves, they create a system wherein the people for insulting.
Yeah.
If you not take proper responsibility of you picking a UF and a host, when they get
they go insult you.
Then they insult you as a parent. Then they insult your integrity.
Yeah.
It happens everywhere. It's human.
It's human.
Yeah. So if the government, the people in authority, they are not doing what is right, and the person left with no option, how do you want him or her to send his message?
Well,
I'm not supporting that, but at the same time, the government has to carry its responsibility to the people and let them know say, I hold Sierra Leoneans. I don't hold my party. I don't hold few people.
The minute you are elected, even as a member of parliament or even a councillor in a municipality or a district council, your responsibility is no longer to your party, it's to your constituents.
To your constituents and the constitution.
Yes. Now
So
this will they fail for realize Nasalun.
One thing where I want to make we talk away is going to be very, very serious. Probably we'll come back. We have to address this issue. The election here is coming up. The president don't choose say he want to rig this election. How Sierra Leone and then faith get for they when and get for reject the election? Are we ready for sacrifice human blood at our country just because one person want to be selfishly stay in power? Are we ready for that as a Sierra Leoneans? If we are not ready as diasporans, if we are not ready as Sierra Leoneans, then let's start the awareness and ask for partners for support and stop this catastrophe, this disaster. Where President Marabi single-handedly don't manufacture where we want to can implement 2023 and not even care how many lives will go lost.
They already don't prepare for that.
So if we not stop them,
they don't prepare for that, but we go discuss that at another program.
We have to
the role and the constitutional status of that group we been go train where he call them foresters. Because the constitution of Sierra Leone is clear about the armed forces of Sierra Leone. That will be another topic we'll go discuss next week.
So a disastrous, a very serious, and I tell you thank you for this program where you don't start. And as I've been to say, this is not your first time where you don't begin to serve that country. Some of us, we are probably like a 2-year-old. And you see they continue for Duam. Don't relent. And people will criticize you. People will time and talk.
I don't care.
But what's necessary here is the changes, the awareness, where a lot of people that they get, and which this is a media way platform where you don't start. So I believe in few days or few weeks or a month, you will not say Sierra Leoneans they appreciate you and they appreciate the program where they go on. Let's focus.
Before they go, one point I want to make clear. I am making that promise to Sierra Leoneans and to God. Nobody no go ever see me go stand for a political office in Sierra Leone or accept a political office. But nobody can stop me talking for the changes we need in Sierra Leone. Some of us are above party politics. I get me political party. But even within my political party, if they are not doing it right, I will tell them. I am nobody's sycophant. Okay? And I know they do things for personal gains. Some people that will know, they know that. Back in the days at Teachers Union, we came up with ideas then which they result in certain institutions where they function at the country. I'm not there. Some of these institutions became legal bodies after I don't left that country years, like the Teaching Service Commission, where then be made into a legal body in 2011. That was what part of what we did in 1991-92. Me, Alpha Timbo, and others. NASIT is another institution. Some of us are ready to go back and help Sierra Leone develop. But we are not ready to see an intellectual class that will connive with fraudsters to keep a resource-rich country backward. Sierra Leone can be the richest country on earth if we're ready for work and do that. It can be in 10 years to 15 years. And
That's
another
true.
thing what I wanted intellectuals of Sierra Leone know, development and structural transformation na a cumulative process. It has to start somewhere, and after some point, it grows in cumulative progression. China, what they see today, so they make world power. In the 70s, when they came to Sierra Leone, they all been they wear uniform, been they laugh at them, not so. Where they can build stadium, then build building, then build police headquarters, then build Magba sugar factory, etc. Dodo, dam na Kenema. Now uniform them be they wear. Then build Mange Bridge. Now uniform them be they wear. But what to make China develop within this short time? Then we start with the correct thinking and do the correct things. Then start by providing food for everybody. In Sierra Leone, all the governments they don't talk about food security, but they are doing nothing. Sierra Leone gets a coastal swampland area where they stretch into Guinea and into Liberia, where stretch inland from the coast 20 miles. Now there you defend Tomabom, you fend Walla, you fend then swamp then Ashenge, then you fend then swamp then Ribi, that lower Boya area, then place them there. That part of Sierra Leone can produce up to 500,000 tons of rice per annum, if only we are ready to do it right. There are people who have studied agriculture, etc., etc. Why are we not producing rice? They tell me they go school. Up to 1980, we been get rice corporation, we been export rice, even though in a small quantity. Today, we they import pig feed, we call and rest. Go give people them poison. Now I make now, all the people that they die in the country are between 40 and 50. I come back to the point, my brother. The intellectual class of Sierra Leone for own up to a responsibility. I don't care whether they like me or not. I'm not looking for new friends. I've made all my friends a long time ago. But I want to die a peaceful soul. Let I die with a clear conscience.
One thing we you don't talk so way. I always said I don't need friend. My friend is my conscience.
Yes. Yes.
That's me. My friend is my conscience. So if you think say telling you the truth, that can make you don't want to see air again, tab again, then that is your problem.
It's your business. It's your business.
There is one thing where I established. I forget the primary responsibility for able to take care of my immediate family. And not for big and not for go put it for like any subject.
And the society for provide the structures for make you able to do that. Because some people in Sierra Leone, they not get the structures. Not that they don't want to take responsibility, but the structures are not there.
In that particular area, if we all come together, like we don't begin tell the intellectual class, the best we can able to do for them now for begin shame them.
Yes.
When we begin shame them, most of them go take shape, they not say they're not for good that direction. But that is not been happening in Sierra Leone. Because them feel they get influence in society. So nobody know for talk about them corrupt deals and attitudes.
Now
so we have to
influence them get.
We got to begin shame them for making society grow. Them party always talk so look like a Sierra Leone and you've been telling me the history of Sierra Leone and South Korea.
Yeah.
Sierra Leone and Singapore.
Yeah.
Now,
1961 will be better past than country there.
Yes.
South Korea been just come up and war.
Couple of weeks ago, I see we universities of Sierra Leone, people them, they like monkey them for going to class.
I swear to God, I see that video myself.
I was like, what?
Yeah, it's so good. And I remember my days at university.
Nobody saying nothing about this kind of abuse. And nobody saying nothing about this kind of situation. We accept it at that. So those people that are responsible, we go for begin out there.
Now we the intellectuals. Now we there in the offices. Now we there in administration. Now we there in politics. Now we they create this condition. That's why we have to say it.
Yeah.
There are some intellectuals who have a conscience. They have started saying it. But the point is, we need forget all them people how they think alike. Let we come together as a unit. And one of the things where I believe say the Diaspora Unity Campaign for do is, let we get intellectuals, because everybody there on social media, I'm a patriot. If you are really a patriot, come and join the Sierra Leone Diaspora Unity Campaign. It's not a political organization. It's open to every political party.
And we are not here for stop any political party for letting win election. We responsibility for letting
the government within our power, so if they're ready for work with to God, we they work with them. We they advise them. We're not gonna go take office. Nobody know they get me for go take office. But I go advise you what thing for do to my own ability. So we tell God thank you, we don't able to start this program today. This program, maybe it come off from me end, but this is not for me. It's not for me, it's for all of us. It's for Sierra Leoneans. I just provide the structures and the infrastructure for make we begin get we self, for talk to we self. And we'll get for reach a stage, we'll go begin encourage people and for calling and ask questions and discuss. If you want, you cost me cost self. I don't mind. It's a painful process we have to go through. But let us begin it now. Let's begin tell we self true na salon. We're afraid for tell we self true now make we country the backward. Where there is truth, trust will develop. And where there is trust, every other thing develops.
Yep.
The issue will make Scandinavian countries them peaceful and progressive, not trust. This is the part of the world where everybody trusts everybody. My neighbor, if they go patrol, they can't left your ski to me. So if something happen, but me cat then they this day of go take care. So you know they left your ski keep bossing. When I came to this country in 2003, the first surprise I get, then go put me in at the municipal office, say for go do language practice, la they work there. Then they give me small thing we months done. You understand? They gave me a key the first day. And then tell me, say, this key, they open the main domot, you open the office domot, you open every domot in this building. Will that happen in Sierra Leone?
Oh,
Yes, it's possible. But to build trust.
trust and confidence. Yep.
Trust. But we go camp on that in other programs. Today, we don't do close to 1 hour, 30 minutes. I tell you, thank you for spending your time, my brother. We go talk more. We not go talk all in one day. So if we reach there, fumble them, on a good night, on a good evening, on a good afternoon, wherever on a day.